Hi, welcome to episode 5 of this series where I take a car from one of my GTA garages to showcase, compare with the real thing, customize, drive, and finally rate. Well, no prizes for guessing based on the colour, but today is Ferrari we're going to be looking at. It's the Ferrari 812 Superfast, which in game is known as the Grotti Itali GTO. And we see it here where you may well expect to see it in a private collection of rather expensive Ferraris. This is a Grand Tourer with a front engine that is mounted so far back that they're calling it front mid-engine for balance. It's a 6.3 litre V12 and naturally aspirated, no hybrid technology, so one of the real last of the old school. Nearly 800 horsepower, which makes it, well, let's face it, super fast. And it's supercar performance really in a Grand Tourer body. Here's a nice photo by Ferrari, and I've linked the car's webpage below. This is actually the GTS or the open top model, but it suffices to show the general body shape. If we compare it with the one in game, you can see the main change is the detail behind the front wheel, where the car has a vent and a rather nice shape, but Rockstar just replaced that with a blade. There are other detail changes, mainly at the back, where the car actually has two sets of exhausts with a central diffuser, and in the game it's two sets of diffusers with central exhausts, a few more around the front grille, and of course lots of other little tweaks to make it license-free. Okay, running through the customization, the exhaust is a fairly free choice. I chose round ones, I think they look better. The vent has to go off the hood. Of course, we always want xenon lights. The mirrors, primary. I went Torino red with the colour, being a bit traditionalist perhaps. Obviously there are many other colours it comes in. You need a primary roof. Now as far as the spoiler goes, they offer this discrete spoiler option, and I've taken it. It shouldn't be there on the real car, but it is discrete, and this is one of the fastest cars in its class, which means you may well be racing it, in which case you will need the spoiler for the traction benefits in the game. The real car sits very low with the wheels touching the arches almost, so race suspension is the one to go for. Moving on to the wheels, this is the design of the original Superfast wheel, which doesn't exist in the game. I went for these wheels, which I think look lovely on the car, but you could just pick something more sympathetic to one of the later versions of the vehicle, perhaps. Also, have a quick look at the stock wheels. They actually don't look too bad, a bit BMW-like, but they're okay. Finally, I think there's a light tint on the window. I forgot to take the screenshot. For the drive, I thought we'd do a little countryside trip, so out of the city, over the hills and back in again. Oops. I have to admit, I really enjoy the way this car drives. It is one of my favourites. It's why I picked it to go early in the series. The main thing to note about the car is the ride is quite hard, and because it's quite hard, and because the game has some very sharp vertical ridges, if you like, where the car either jumps or almost jumps, it makes it very easy for it to go light. And of course, if it goes light on a corner, then you will get a big tail out moment. But overall, it doesn't really understeer, can catch you out a little bit perhaps with some oversteer, but overall it is great fun to drive. It's quick, it's responsive, and it's definitely a good car to use in sports car racing where it's either at the top of the tree or very close. I can't remember. You could check out Bruffy's excellent channel for all those sorts of details. It wasn't pretty after that, so let's just forget the drive and rate the car. For looks, it's between 3 and 4 stars for me, but let's give it 4 stars. It looks substantively like a Superfast, but there's many detailed changes as we've already seen. For driving, I'm going to give it 5 stars. I just love the way this car drives. Now, it is a bit overhard on the suspension, and that can cause it to have all sorts of problems, but to me that adds to the fun, as do the spits of flame from the exhaust and the very, very racy engine tone. Value, I'm going to give 4 stars. It's almost $2 million in the game, but you are buying a car that's either at or very close to the top of the sports class, so that's pretty good value. But of course, if you just want a fast-driving supercar, you could buy something like the Zentorno, which is the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento in real life, and I think that's about $750,000, so we can't go 5 stars on value. Well, it's one of my favourite cars. Is it one of your favourite cars? Do let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.